Vice Chair Matt Schuler is excused. Alder Randy Scannell.
Present.
Debbie Dean.
Here.
Kathy Hinkvis is excused. Melanie Parma is excused. And Jessica Ganther.
Here.
Excellent, we have a quorum.
Yes.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Alderman Scannell and Debbie, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, motion carried. Regular order of business, number 1, consideration with possible action to approve the transfer of parcel 15-168 from the Redevelopment Authority to the City of Green Bay. And that is...
Actually, I'm going to handle that.
Oh, I see, Cheryl.
So this is, remember the one Astor development agreement we had on the water? So this was phase 1 of our development agreement, which is going to be, the developer was going to clear the land, fill it in, put the new trail in.
Yes,
Right?
yes,
And then
yes.
we were going to swap
Yep.
the land. And then there was also, I think, $150,000 that will be paid. So we're at the point now where we're doing CSM, and it makes sense for the Redevelopment Authority to transfer that land into the name of the city, because then at the point that we swap it with the developer, the trail automatically is in the city's name.
Oh.
So it's just making that transfer, make it
Right.
easier when we actually do that final.
I ride by here all the time on my bike. What is the latest with the development itself?
I don't believe they're moving forward with any development on phase 2. The owner passed away.
Passed away.
Dean Miller passed away.
Yeah.
So he was the driving force, I think, behind the development. But phase 1 was completed, so it's just a matter of getting the land. CSM figured out and us making that transfer, so the trail's done, so.
Right.
He'd be out there himself on his riding board.
He did it right, he did a really good job.
It's a beautiful piece of property with, absolutely, especially once the co-files are gone, but even with them there.
Right, and I think once we get this all finalized too and transferred, it's a site ready to go, and then they can sell it if they choose to do that.
And it's nicer for the trail. I love riding on it.
Yes, we got rid of that hairpin.
Yeah.
on there, so-
Much better.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion, Alderman Scannell and Debbie, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, motion carried. Thanks.
Thank you.
Number 2, consideration of possible action to approve a development agreement with NeighborWorks Green Bay for 1162 Day Street. And that's Rhonda.
Yep, that's going to be me. As you know, we had that planning option for the last year with NeighborWorks, and that was just for the 2 sites to come out of the floodplain. Those have happened. They've gotten all their designs and everything together, so we're just now looking for requests on the development agreement. 1162 Day Street, again, is going to be as part of the Bridges student build program for the 23-24 school year. NeighborWorks is looking to purchase the lot at the current fair market value, which was $17,600, so they're looking to pay that. They aren't looking for any additional subsidy for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, single-story home. Staff's reviewed it, and we see no problem with this.
So this will be a market rate.
Market rate, yes.
Good.
So,
Excellent. So you're ready to get some design. Did you get some external design too? Or I'm looking here. No, anyway, bottom line, you got, yes, I'm sorry. Motion to open the meeting, please.
No, he's an alder.
Oh, I'm sorry. Please.
So I drove by this lot, I mean, I know there's several lots along Bay Street there that were vacant, all that. And I think it would be a good improvement there. My question here is that 2 lots there or 1?
It's 2.
So it's gonna be a 1 build for that?
No, but they're gonna build on
Okay.
1 house on each lot. That's gonna be our next agenda item.
That's
It's
what
the
I'm
other
trying
lot.
to figure out.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is a big lot.
No, there's actually gonna be 2 builds. We've got them as 2 separate development agreements.
3-bedroom,
Yep, like homes.
mirrored, whatever.
Yep, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,
They're similar.
they're not similar, but not the same. David Erickson is here
Yeah.
from NeighborWorks, if you want to open.
Motion to open the floor.
Motion,
Motion. Second.
second by Jessica. All those in favor, open the floor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Great, thank you,
Sure.
please.
go ahead, David.
Thank you.
David's from NeighborWorks, so he's.
I work for NeighborWorks, and you're right, the 2 agenda items are for next door properties to each other. They're both 3-bedroom, 2-bath houses. Similar palettes for materials on the exterior, but just different layouts of the floor plan. So they're not exactly the same house next to each other.
Just be ready to go. There's trusses already wrapped up on the back.
They're getting there, yeah. Yeah,
I'm just kidding. I'm sure it's someone else's.
we're ready to go. soon as we can get the development agreement in place, the drawings are ready, so once that's in place, we'll get the permit from the city, and it's gonna, the intent is to have it moving by the time fall comes along for the students to do it through the Green Bay School District. So it's,
And I see you would have a two-car garage, which is very nice.
yeah, we have 2-car garages accessible from the alley on each property. So, and if
So
you,
two-car garages?
two-car garages,
Yeah.
one on each property, and then one garage on each property, I should say. And then if you need some additional design drawings, we can provide those if you need them.
Actually, we get some, do you have a copy of the agenda?
Yeah, it's in the packet.
It's all online.
I just,
It's the site plan, they're looking for what the house
Yeah,
will
we can
physically
provide
look.
that.
Did you?
No, I haven't yet, but
Yeah.
we can. We can
Yeah.
for sure.
renderings.
Do you don't have a picture with you, do you?
I could, if you give me a few moments.
I think it'd be a good improvement to that area for sure.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
I know there's concerned people on the other, real near, close to that are always complaining about grass, so heck of a way to take care of it.
It'll be like night and day.
So
On Day
is it 17,000 what
600.
for each property?
That's the fair market value.
Of
This one,
each parcel there?
of each parcel there. Right now, we're working on the 1162, and that's the one that they're looking to purchase right now for 17.6 with no additional subsidy. And that, like Cheryl said, will be going to market rate.
So they're gonna do one at a time?
Yep.
No, probably.
Well, they're gonna do it back to back. It's just that how they proposed the development agreement is a little bit different for each one, so I did them separately.
Okay.
They're two separate,
So
when we
today you're just
dispose of the
tackling
property.
one?
No, we're handling them both.
We're tackling them both, yeah.
But they're separate agenda items, but we'll handle them both today.
Right. I've seen it listed double, but before.
Because we were holding them as two
Planning options.
parcels as planning options.
Just clearing up.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
I'm having trouble getting online, but I can email them somehow if you.
Okay.
The design has to match the character of the neighborhood.
Right.
These are gonna be one-stories.
Single story.
Yep.
Single
stories.
They're
Um,
similar to the ones we just finished.
But we look at it, we make sure there's front door and there's windows and it
Yep.
matches the character of the
Yep.
neighborhood. When we review them.
Is there alley there? There is.
Yes.
Pretty sure.
So I think the garages are gonna be accessed off the alley.
Off the alley.
Yes.
So you'll come in off the alley for the garage and then,
I think it's a nice design, nice strategy.
The site plan was online.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'll take a look at it.
yeah, please. Very good questions, no comments.
Good question.
I do have a question.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
you
yeah.
can,
Okay,
we can
motion
make
back
a
to
motion on
regular
this and then I'll come
business.
back.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
We can motion this.
Motion closes the floor.
Deb, second?
Oh, yeah, I mean, we can motion the whole thing.
Okay.
Then I want to ask him, oh, wait.
Oh, it's
Oh, we have to
okay.
be open then.
It has to
Never
be
mind,
both.
that's your request.
Oh,
Okay, never mind.
sorry,
I withdraw the motion. Go ahead.
So, you're having an open house, like, in a couple days or something, or yesterday?
That's for, we did have an open house for our 421 4th Street,
I missed that.
which is on MLS right now. It's listed for sale.
Yes.
In a few weeks, we have another open house coming up on our project for Doty Street that we just finished.
1208 Doty.
Both of those were Bridges projects.
Okay.
And then, sorry, go ahead.
So are any of them going to be for people under 80% of the median
The
income?
one on Doty Street.
The one on Doty
is
Street
affordable.
is.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and is that the one that just opened, you had open?
No,
They
no,
will
no,
be.
That was
Okay.
for-
we had two projects going.
So what's the sale price? Because I was just, okay. So, I've been involved with NeighborWorks for a very, very, very long
Do
time.
that.
Yes. And I just never saw the day, thought I'd see the day where a 1,200 square foot home by NeighborWorks was gonna go on the market for $225,000, basically,
Mhm.
right? And so I'm wondering if you guys had, and I know this isn't your department at NeighborWorks, but are you exploring other ways to maybe subsidize a buyer that's under 80% of the median income? Because if all the pricing is going to be like this moving forward, it's going to be very difficult. And I know that, you can give them a 0% deferred somewhat, right? But, that really, to my mind, in my mind, the more and more you stack those subsidies for a buyer to be able to afford it at the buyer's end without addressing it somehow up front, and I don't know how you can do that, the longer and longer and longer and longer it takes for them to build any equity in that house because of all the subsidies that need to be paid back. So, aside from Adopt a Home, which I know, that's a good source, I'm just hoping NeighborWorks is constantly looking for other sources like that to be able to maybe subsidize it on the front end.
Well-
Because I know Jack and Inky will take the loss of a sale as a charitable donation.
Right. One way we are looking to reduce the overall construction cost is we're getting
Right.
into multifamily designs, which can
Yeah.
kind of group the overall
Yeah.
construction cost and split the
Or
cost.
doing two
between-
builds at one time.
Two at one time, right, there's a benefit there.
Yeah.
But even just, the 10 unit that we have going on in the planning stages currently, so that's, but just as a
NeighborWorks
bit of,
America,
as a bit
they
of
have any money?
information, just as a little tidbit, the one that we're listing for sale on 421 4th Street is actually not listed as high as some other previous ones that we just completed.
yeah,
So,
I know.
but we work with them, we work with an in-house realtor, and they help us set the price for it, and we want to set it competitively. We don't want to, drive the cost of houses down in the neighborhood, but at the same time, you're right, there is an
When
opportunity.
I first started selling real estate, I sold real estate with Linda Tyrell.
So, yeah, it's a small community for sure.
All right, I just wanted to bring that up.
Right.
Moving forward.
And we do find some efficiencies through our bridges program.
Yeah,
Right, yeah,
that's a great idea.
So
That's true.
that's
Great program.
Okay, I don't want to hold it up anymore. Thank you very much.
Just one more
Motion to go back
question.
to regular business?
Just one
Yes,
more
please.
question.
Yeah, please.
So, well, I don't know who it's for. So, these properties built by NeighborWorks, this does contribute to the tax base?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
of course.
Because a lot of people have asked me over the years and said, look into that, because they're building 200 homes and it's not contributed to
No,
tax
no.
base. They're a little bothered by that.
It does-
They're paying their fair
contribute.
share.
They can
They contribute.
Well, these are being sold, so when they sell them, then it just, it stays on the tax rolls. Any property that we work with NeighborWorks where we're funding them, if it stays a rental for NeighborWorks, they pay a pilot with us, a payment in lieu of taxes. So we work with them that way if we're subsidizing it in any way, when they're holding on to them, the properties themselves. We do that with other nonprofits.
There's a year from some questions that people give me,
Yes.
and I don't know how to answer it.
Excellent questions. Very good. Motion to go.
Motion to close it to the floor.
Second.
Motion second, close the floor. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Thank you. Back to regular order business.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion and second to approve. Questions or comments? If not, all in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Thank you. Number 3, very similar. Consideration of possible action to approve a development agreement with NeighborWorks for the site located at 1164 Gay Street. A little different price point.
Yep.
15,000. Please, Ron, go ahead.
So at this one, NeighborWorks is requesting to have the lot donated. This will be kept at the affordable rate. They are also requesting $15,000 in TDA funding to assist with the gap in the development cost, and an amount not to exceed $25,000 of home funds to help with buyer subsidy and down payment assistance. This would be for a one-year development agreement.
So a similar house, but will be sold to someone who's low and moderate income.
Yep.
Qualified.
Right.
So we need to add some riders onto this to make it
Yeah.
work, to
Yeah.
get that buyer
I
into
know.
the. Like Debbie set the meeting, set the agenda item up for her.
I know.
And
All right.
and TIDA, that's all federal funds, is that correct?
No, TDOT is the
TDOT,
tax
right.
increment district.
Right.
That's where we hold the
Oh.
TID open for an additional year,
Okay.
and that gives us money for affordable housing.
Yeah,
Great tool.
The home funds are federal.
that's what I was thinking.
That's a
Got it.
great.
So just,
Yeah, please.
that's kind of what my first questions were about. This is the other lot then?
This is the other lot, yep.
So one is being done at a full purchase price and the other one is, they're asking for subsidized from the city?
Yep,
Yes.
yep,
Yep.
exactly.
I was done one way and
So it's
on the other.
affordable to somebody that's under 80% of
Right.
median income.
Just trying to,
How does that get through the rental process or purchase process of the 80% under?
It's your income.
80%.
It's their income.
It's like as a
I
buyer.
understand that. Mhm.
It's your income, it's not rent. It's like you're buying a
I
house.
meant, both ways, I meant, but
Okay,
clarifying that, the purchase, so then they will get subsidies. So, you understand it, I'm just understanding
Yep.
it. So, they're asking for,
$15,000 for the TADA funding assistance.
so to purchase the property,
or to use towards like
For
construction. yeah?
Construction, yeah.
okay? Okay, and that's payable back how?
It's granted.
That's a grant.
Granted
Yep.
through,
The tax increment district financing, where we hold a TID district open for an additional year. After it
Okay.
closes, and that pool of money, then we can use for affordable housing projects.
okay. So then, when it comes to the sale of the home, it will open the door for people that wouldn't be able to afford the right-hand property, but can afford the left-hand property.
Correct, because they'll have a subsidy to help them actually with some down payment assistance. That will go like as a soft second maybe on the property. And then this will also help with that construction gap when they build it.
They still do that? I thought when I bought my home, you had the down payment, you were set, but it
Yeah.
didn't mean crap back then.
Yeah, right.
You know, I was
Those
like,
days are, right.
Yeah.
Used to be able to come up with 5%, but now the cost to build the house or just to buy the house is so crazy high. There's a big gap.
you know, lived it.
Do they go into tax rules at the same price, at the same dollar amount?
It goes in the tax rules, whatever the assessor
Yep.
values it
Yeah.
at, so.
The same mill rate and everything that
That's important.
that the city uses, yeah.
It's not
So
at,
we-
right, it's not at what it's sold, it's at what the value is.
Yep.
So just like any build home, like the
Yep.
other property,
Yep.
just keep
Yep.
it easy
Very
here.
important.
Then
The
they
only
don't
one-
get any breaks on that, then it
No.
just
No.
starts right off.
No,
All right,
no, and the subsidy they get for down payment helps lower their mortgage amount, so it makes it more affordable.
but that's just with the mortgage, they
So
still
this-
pay their taxes.
so the city is just granting the money to NeighborWorks, not so much the programs that the buyer would.
Well, the 15,000 would go to NeighborWorks. for
Right,
Construction,
I
but
understand
the up to 25 would actually goes directly to that buyer. We're kind of rifling
Up
through.
to
NeighborWorks
25.
is, yeah, because NeighborWorks, they do a homebuyer counseling and, to get into the
Okay.
home, they do all that work. So they'll work them, they also have other funding sources that sometimes they can stack as well, other than ours that help with down payment assistance to
Okay.
get people in.
Great questions. Thank you.
Just learn a little bit each time.
No, it's great.
But I
Excellent.
love about the job, always learning.
Excellent questions.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and second to approve the development agreement with NeighborWorks at 1164 Day Street. All in favor, saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Thank you, excellent questions. All right, number 4, consideration with possible action on the request by Bay City Lofts LLC to transfer the receipt of the home grant to the development partner, Lutheran Social Services of Wisconsin and Upper Michigan. And that is Krista.
Yep, that's me. So this, at the last meeting, you approved the award for the home assistance on the Bay City Lofts project to Bay City Lofts. However, because of their structure, it has to go to a nonprofit. So we're just asking that you change the award from Bay City Lofts to Lutheran Social Services, their partner,
Which is their nonprofit
their
partner.
nonprofit partner. It's
Right.
just kind of a formality in the home funds.
Joanne.
If Joanne is
Joanne.
also on the line. She can talk a little bit more about their structure. on the
Sure, so this structure is very similar to what you approved, I want to say at the beginning of the month for the City East development. Same concept, where any grant money that they're receiving as part of the project has to pass through a nonprofit entity partner in the project in order to not affect their capital stack with respect to the tax credits that they're getting. And so this part was this pass-through entity wasn't clear to us at the time when we moved forward with the home grant approval request last week, so we wanted to bring it back so that it was clear for the record and for the authority who the funds are being tendered to. And we're working out the terms of the agreement right now as far as obligations and duties with respect to the agreement itself and for the nonprofit entity in receiving the funds and then lending those funds directly to Bay City.
Okay, that makes sense. Questions, comments?
Motion to approve.
Jessica?
Second.
Thank you, Jessica. Motion and second. Questions or comments to the motion? All those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, motion carried. Thank you. Thanks, Joanne.
Thank you.
Continue your great work of making us look good and keeping us out of jail. In case you didn't hear that earlier. That's the best one-liner I got today. That's right. Thank you. All right. Informational, our next meeting is August 8th.
Yep.
And anything else with staff or questions for the staff? If that, motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 We are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you all for making the meeting.
Thanks, Mom. Bye.
Good meeting.
Yeah, I'll look
Thank
at
you.
it.
He's
Recording stopped.
He's developed.